Hey, Shalom, it's your brother Yawan. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. You guys remember this? So there were some tunnels in early 2024 in New York, and it was around the 770 complex in Crown Heights in New York, where they found all these tunnels, and this happened, all right? But what they found was they found a lot of child-sized items. They found a lot of mattresses. They found blood on these mattresses, these baby cribs, with these small hats in these tunnels. There wasn't any news of any arrest. There wasn't any clarification on what they were doing down there. And it just goes to show, man, we live in a society where unrighteous decrees go forth. There's no justice in this society. Our justice is going to come from on high upon the return of the Lord. And somebody who's truly seeking Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you have a great disdain for this place because it's evil. The scriptures say, hate the evil and love the good. So one of the common thing the elect is going to have is they're going to be sighing and crying for the abominations being done in the midst thereof. A lot of people, they're not grieved with this place. The scriptures talk about Lot, how he was vexed from day to day with the filthy conversation of the wicked. If you're truly serious about this thing, you're going to find yourself in a spirit that's a little irritated often the time being in this society, dealing with the unrighteous decrees. Let's actually go get that. Isaiah, the 10th chapter. All right. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. And this devil's the one decreeing the unrighteous decrees. The whole thing with ICE. All right. Apparently ICE is being trained by the IDF. All right. The Israeli Defense. What does IDF stand for? I know it's the Israeli military. IDF stands for the Israeli Defense Forces. That's who trains them. America's bought and paid for. It's simply a subsidiary of the small hats. Imagine Jake being in some damn tunnels, pushing chairs at the police, pushing them. They'll gun their asses down. All right? But with these small hats, the treatment is much different. The treatment is much different, you know, with how ICE even deals with our people. They want to go take over Greenland. It's a lot of, Northern Kingdom in Greenland as well. They gonna get belt to ass as well, man. Except those that repent. Okay? Now this go back to it here. Isaiah 10:1, it says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they have prescribed. And we know that this devil, he's the one who's been in the forefront of the unrighteous decrees that have gone out in the earth. When you go to Ecclesiastes or Sirach 10:8, let's go there real quick. Sirach 10:8, because of unrighteous dealings. Actually, let me start up, actually. Sirach 10:7, it says, pride is hateful before God and man. And by both doth one commit iniquity, which is sin upon sin. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So this man's spiritual credit score is through the basement. All right. And because of that, he's going to be stripped from the throne, like it talks about in Isaiah the 47th chapter. Okay. So it's irritating being in this society, but at the same time, we're the only people on earth that understand how the solution is going to take place. There's a lot of people who may have some truths. They might say things that are true, but they can't piece the big picture together. You look at Call for an Uprising, Dabu 7, even the people that set up that might say some truths, like Glenn Beck from time to time. These different guys, they'll say things that might be true, but they can't piece together the big picture or the solution on how to escape what's coming upon the earth. Okay? They don't understand the fullness of the plans of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. They don't even know who's orchestrating everything. Really, the Lord is orchestrating everything. This devil's even in the trick bag. Everything he's done or is going to do has been written. And a lot of people, they don't understand that nothing is happening without the clearance of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And when you understand that, you're able to deal with all the bullshit, you know, with a more stable mind, like the scriptures talk about. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times. Let me get that real quick since I quoted it. It's Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation, and the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So you have this wisdom and knowledge. You also understand what? You understand prophecy. You understand there's a sequence of events in which things have to take place. So your feathers don't get too ruffled by the things that are getting ready to play out. Now, much violence is getting ready to take place. If not this year, you know, especially going into next year. Okay? Much violence is getting ready to take place. The whole ICE thing, they basically govern themselves. I mentioned already that they're trained by the IDF. Okay? But they're able to go in people's houses without a warrant. That wasn't cleared by all three branches. That's just the executive branch. That's something that they wrote up for themselves to justify them moving how they move. And they're coming down upon the tribes, okay? It started off, you know, last year with the Northern Kingdom, and now it's getting ready to touch the Southern Kingdom. As the Elder Malcolm in Chicago always says, the Northern Kingdom gets it first, and the Southern Kingdom gets it worse, all right? And we're getting ready to see that play out. But in the midst of all of that, we got to stay prayed up. If you haven't been praying all day, you haven't been in the spirit to just be constantly praying to the Lord and thanking the Lord and being locked in with him, you need to get there. All right. It's a difference between seeing it at length, seeing these things happen in places that aren't necessarily affecting you personally, and dealing with it personally. We're about to be dealing with this bullshit on a personal level. So all these things that we've learned, we're going to have to put it into practice. We're going to have to walk where we've been talking. And the difference between those who've been getting this full truth and those who haven't is they're not going to understand the application of the knowledge when things are touching them in a personal way. When the affliction is touching them in a personal way. They don't understand discretion. They don't understand picking their battles. And like the Elder Yashawamba says himself, he says, man, there's a lot of people who woke up to be Israelites just to be shields for the elect. There's a lot of people that woke up. The Lord allowed them to wake up and know who they are simply so they can be judged because they're the same spirits that said, crucify him, crucify him. The same spirits murmuring in the wilderness, you know. The same spirits killing the prophets. So we're about to witness a lot. Keep in mind that you're supposed to be worried about those who be like you. This was told to Ezra. Let's go there really quick. I believe it's in the 14th chapter. Bear with me really quick. Is it 2nd Ezra 14:9? It was told to Ezra, you know, you can't be concerned with everybody. You got to be concerned with those who are on the same mission that you're on. Let me see. Trying to find it. And if one of y'all find it before me, put it up on the comment board. Be like thee. It's going to bug me if I don't find it right now. Might have to come back to it. Oh, it's second. Yeah, it's 14:9. It's second Ezra 14. And I'm going to start at... Where should I start here? Second Ezra 14. I guess I could start at 8. And I wonder how it reads in the GNT. Let's check out the GNT. Second Ezra 14. Let's see how it reads in the GNT. And let's just start at 3. It's 2nd Ezra 14:3 in the GNT. It says, the voice continued, I revealed myself from a bush and spoke to Moses when my people were slaves in Egypt. I sent him to lead them out of Egypt, and I brought them to Mount Sinai and kept Moses with me there on the mountain for a long time, while I told him the secrets about the ages and the end of time. And we've been revealed the mysteries, like it talks about in Matthew, the 13th chapter. For it is unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. It's not given to everybody. Okay, so there's a lot of people, they're going to be moving in an ill-advised way in the days to come. That's their problem. Okay. Everybody's been given the chance to fall up under the proper umbrella. Okay. The Lord's set at naught. I mean, they've set at naught the Lord's counsel when the Lord has reached out their arm to them, like it talks about in Proverbs 1. But these people that aren't on the same mission as us, that is not your problem. Don't get caught up in some bullshit you don't got to get caught up in. Those that fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua and adhere to the proper doctrine and are concerned about the kingdom of heaven being established upon earth, those are the people with you. There's a lot of people that know they're Israelites, but they're not being one. Keep that in mind, okay? If somebody also could put Sirach 12:1 up, if I'm not mistaken. It talks about know who you do good unto. Somebody could put that up on the comment board if you can. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 14:3. The voice continued, I revealed myself from a bush and spoke to Moses when the people were slaves in Egypt. And this is 2nd Ezra 14:3 in the GNT. Okay, by the way. Verse 4. I sent him to lead them out of Egypt and brought them to Mount Sinai and kept Moses with me there on the mountain for a long time, while I told him the secrets, again, the secrets and the mysteries are revealed to the Lord's elect. About the ages of the end of time, I told him what to make public and what to keep secret. All right. And again, when we say 100% truth, the Lord has given us instructions on what we need to know in our time to cross the finish line of salvation. Doesn't mean we know what the inside of a chariot looks like. Okay. But we've been given the blueprint to pass the test. That's what we mean when we say we have 100% truth. When you go to Revelation, the 14th chapter, it talks about a subset of men having no guile in their speech, meaning no deceit, meaning they had the full understanding, okay, on what it takes to receive salvation. Verse 6, 2nd Ezra 14:6 in the GNT. What to make public and what to keep secret. Now I command you to memorize the signs, visions, and the interpretations that I have given you, the prophecies, the understanding. You will be taken out of this world into the heavenly world, all right? The elect are going to be taken up out of the destruction, all right? Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, all right? You will be taken out of this world into the heavenly world, where you and others like you will live with my son until the end of time. And this, the GNT, they're not explaining it in full here. But we're going to be taken up, changed. The ceremony is going to be happening. And we're going to come back down and rule the beginning of the new age in an upright way. the establishment of the kingdom of heaven. When you go to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, it talks about the end of the world, meaning the end of this age where the other nations are ruling. And the last nation that was prophesied to rule will be Esau Edom, the so-called white man. That's why the scriptures in that chapter, in that verse, says Esau is the end of the world. Okay, he's the last. He's going to be the last ruler before the kingdom of heaven is established, and that transition is going to be immediate from his rule to our rule. Okay, that's why it gives you the parable in that same chapter about Jacob holding Esau's heel and how there's no space between the man's hand and the heel. That it's immediate. You see, it really overlaps. Because what as the Lord's returning and dismantles, the nations in that instance, right there, it's over. And their infrastructure is still going to be up, but it's going to have to be torn down and flipped into something perfect. Okay, we're advocating for that, for righteous rulership on the earth, as it says in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, I believe about verse 13. It says, we seek new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Now, since nobody put up this Sirach 12 and 1, let me go get it myself. All right, it's Sirach 12 and 1. It says, when thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it. So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. All right. Somebody who's not in the spirit and is not what we're about, man, they're not going to be truly grateful for your help anyway. And really, everybody else that's not with what we're with, they're going to be used as tools against us by the wicked. Okay? So just put your head down and lock in on crossing the finish line. Don't get caught up in all the BS outside. We know these things must happen. We know these things have to come to pass. But don't get caught up in shit that you don't need to get caught up in. All right, so, just something quick for you. Got another lesson I want to do. Got some clips I'm going to respond to. But I want to get this one out of the way. So, Abaratazah, the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, to all this truth and well. Shalom to all the Akim and all the Akwath who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your house. All right, Shalom.